first one right. And
What do we do after
so we're not going to focus on that. Okay, just from looking at your chart,
Math-based.
I know that we need to go to number 2. You put this all on number 1 looks like. So let's go to number 2. What did you see? You saw the negative sign where? Can you point it out? In your answer. Okay, so here's what I see. When you wrote this down, you didn't carry the negative 3 down here. So what that caused you to do is not divide by negative 3. So like you said, that was where you went off. So your answer should have been, okay. And you have that classified as a simple mistake, and I agree. Okay, so moving forward, what can we do to get that? To be able to make sure we don't make that mistake, because even though it is a simple mistake, it still hurts us. Right, so pay attention, make sure we always focus on bringing down the whole thing in front of the number. Okay? Okay, thank you for doing that. Why don't you give me this, then you can work on that. Well, okay, so you're right both ways. You just didn't get the right variable down. Now, right now, it doesn't make a huge difference. On math space, if you did it on math space, they would give you the check mark and tell you to do it again. So you're good on everything else. Right? I see from looking at your assessment of your work that you're right in both occasions. So let's look at number 1. So I see that you checked through your work and you've got the correct answer. So what I can kind of get from that is that you have a pretty good understanding of this now and you're on the right track. And what I would also like to say is I think you've done a great job of how you organized your work, how you made sure you showed the opposite operation and crossed out what you don't need, and I think that's probably helping you. Now, down here, here's what I see here, and then we need to make sure we go over this together. When you got rid of the 6 from each side, that was great. What you need to make sure you do is drop the negative in front of the 3. Right. Because you knew it was a flip just from seeing that. So you can tell that you knew it was a flip, so you made sure you flipped it. The problem is if you don't drop that negative 3, you will forget that negative part in front of the answer. So going forward, just make sure, focus on, this is a problem for everybody, focus on what's in front of that negative, in front of that number. You gotta make sure you check it and take the sign in front down with it. Okay? All right, thank you. All right, Taylor, let's see what you have. Yeah, it's a messed up one. I don't know what's going on with that. Bonnie gave it to me, I'm not sure. Is there a different one you can grab? Yeah, I do. Okay, Taylor, here's what I see. So on number 1, you decided that you are correct from checking your work. And I would also agree with your statement of you being correct. You did a nice job of organizing, showing the opposite operation, and carrying things down the whole way. If you continue to show this kind of organization, things will be, I think, pretty easy for you. So if we come over here, here's what I see. You made sure that you knew this was a positive 6, so you made a minus 6, because I think you made a mistake before and actually thought that was minus and added there. So that's good to see that you kind of fixed that issue. You dropped the negative down, which is great, and got the correct answer. Awesome. Okay, thank you. All right, Seth. All right, so let's see what we have. So here's what I see on number 1. You did this correctly. You're in a good spot here. When you brought the 5 down, you did not bring the y with it. So when you do that, you lose sight of what you need to get by itself. So by not bringing the y down, all of a sudden I'm not sure where this 4 came from. Can you tell me where the 4 came from?
I don't know. I was trying to just confuse and
Okay.
I just used the number.
If I had to guess, you somehow got the 2 and the 2 and changed that into a negative 4.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I see. Now, in the future, if you bring the y down, you would know what.
4, 6. This was shadow.
SHADOW.
So you bring the y down, and we don't have this. What happens to this right here? We should cross that
Did it
out
work?
correctly. So now we're at this spot. So here's what I see. 5 times y. So how do I get that y by itself? You divide by what? 5. And if you do it to one side, you have to, right. Now I think you would have been on the right track to get your answer 20 divided by 5. Okay? And you said you really don't understand because you weren't sure where you made a mistake. Now, do you think if we gave you another problem, you could be able to go through there and work that out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's what you can do on your math space. But are you done with two-step inequalities? So we'll get to the two-step inequalities one. I can show you how to get there. And then if we look at number 2, the only thing I see on number 2, you did everything, pulled it down right like you're supposed to. What I need you to do though is divide by -3 over here, so keep it. Now, what did we write at the top of our problem? Here's what I see. Did we flip it in our answer? So if you've written it, because you did a good job of doing that, using that strategy, make sure you get that in your answer. Okay? And we have a 3x or less than x. We'd have to end with an x. Okay? We can't end with anything but an x. Or a letter by itself. Okay?